Ukrainian Armed Forces drones continue to expand their operational range in the aggressor country. 2025 marked a record year for attacks on Russian oil infrastructure, which is already impacting refining volumes and the gasoline market. While last year's most distant target was the Salavat Oil Refinery in Bashkortostan, approximately 1,300 kilometers from the Ukrainian border, attacks against it are now becoming more common. This year, the Salavat Refinery has already been hit twice, on September the 18th and 24th. The strikes also affected other facilities in the region. The Bashneft Oil Refinery, located even further away, approximately 1,350 kilometers from the border, was attacked 3 times, on March the 3rd, September the 13th, and October the 11th. It is also known that on August the 10th, the Ukhta Oil Refinery in Komi, approximately 1,750 kilometers, was attacked. And on October the 6th, drones reached the Tyumen Oil Refinery, which is approximately 2,000 kilometers from Ukraine. Thus, the line of potential targets shifted far beyond the Urals. As of the morning of November the 6th, Ukraine has carried out or attempted to carry out 111 strikes on oil depots and refineries in Russia in 2025. By comparison, there were 94 such incidents in all of 2024. Thus, the increase amounted to more than 18%, and the trend is continuing. For example, on Friday, the main intelligence directorate reported that the Stolitamak petrochemical plant in Bashkortostan had been attacked the previous day. The agency noted that this is one of the key petrochemical facilities in the aggressor country. The attack resulted in a fire in the Agidol production facility. Media reports on a drone attack on this plant also appeared on November the 4th. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski stated at the end of October that Ukrainian airstrikes had reduced Russian oil refining capacity by approximately 20%. This estimate is partially confirmed by data from Russian sources. According to RBC, at the end of September, approximately 38% of primary processing capacity was idle. The consequences are reflected in the domestic market. From August to October, gasoline shortages were recorded in more than 50 regions of the Russian Federation, with drivers complaining of price hikes at gas stations and local shortages. Ukrainian drones recently flew to Stovo, near Nizhny Novgorod, and attacked a local oil refinery. The exact target attacked by drones in Stovo remains unknown. It is believed to be the local oil refinery, which is owned by Lukoil. It is one of the largest oil refineries in Russia, capable of processing approximately 17 million tons of oil annually. The refinery supplies fuel and lubricants to the Russian occupation army in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Armed Forces have previously attacked this refinery several times. Recently, an attack occurred on a Rosneft oil refinery in the Saratov region, one of the largest fuel suppliers to central Russia. The attack resulted in a major fire breaking out on the refinery's premises. According to Dnipro Osint, drones attacked the Saratov region, striking a Rosneft oil refinery with a capacity of 5.8 million tons per year. The strike caused a major fire near the AVT-6 unit. Another drone attempted to damage the isomerization unit but was blocked by an anti-drone net. This is the 4th strike on the Saratov oil refinery since early autumn. The refinery was previously attacked on September the 16th, September the 20th, and October the 16th. The refinery, which produces approximately 140,000 barrels of oil per day, is a key fuel supplier to the Russian armed forces.
This school year, students in elementary, middle, and high schools in some states will get a new lesson on safety: what to do if they find a firearm. According to Associated Press Arkansas, Tennessee, and Utah are the first states to enact laws that require public schools to teach children as young as 5 the basics of gun safety and how to properly store guns in the home. Only Utah's law allows students to opt out of the lesson if requested by parents or guardians. A similar law in Arizona was vetoed by the Democratic governor, and lawmakers in at least 5 other states have introduced such proposals, putting schools at the forefront of yet another debate about gun violence. In Tennessee, lesson plans could include stickers, games, quizzes, or videos with music and colorful firearm illustrations, including a gun made out of Lego-style bricks and an explanation of what a muzzleloader is. The reality is that many children in the U.S. grow up around firearms. At Berklayer Elementary School in Memphis, a class of 16 fifth graders were asked how many had seen a real gun during their gun safety lesson. Nearly all raised their hands. Students learn by watching, especially if it's a communication barrier. So watching the film made them realize that it was a problem if you found a weapon in a book bag and what you needed to do. So all the kids was able to tell me, what would you do? What would you if you come across a gun? What would you do? And I asked a question, like I did today, how many of you have ever seen a real gun? And you're just so amazed. And then it shows you just how much a class like this is needed, said Tammy Chapman, a health and physical education instructor, who has been leading the lessons at this school. The legislation required that this curriculum be non-political and, of course, we did our best to adhere to that. So the curriculum really just focuses on what should a student do if they find a firearm.
So we definitely did some, infographics that they could use. We thought would be helpful. In 2024, the Tennessee General Assembly passed legislation requiring schools to teach firearm safety, and it required that it be age appropriate and that the Department of Education would consult with the Department of Safety and with us here at the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Because the majority of you raise your hand when I ask you to say the prayer. If for some reason you see one at home, it's okay to tell your parent, be respectful. Mom, I think this needs to be put up.
To my mom, she has a gun at home. She'll know what to do. Do is just let them go to TV. And it's a great video. Stop. Don't touch it. One way down on the side. Don't touch it.
Students learn by watching, especially if it's a communication barrier. So watching the film made them realize that it was a problem if you found a weapon in a book bag and what you needed to do. So all the kids was able to tell me, what would you do? What would you do if you come across a gun? What would you do? And I asked a question like I did today, how many of you have ever seen a real gun? And you just so amazed. And then it shows you just how much a class like this is needed.